Very senior people at Buckingham Palace were very troubled by the appointment of Andy Coulson and tried to make it absolutely clear to the Prime Minister. I'm not sure whether this information ever got directly to the Prime Minister, but certainly got to senior figures at Downing Street about that concern. And that's only understandable. After all, the Queen's grandchildren had their phones hacked, and quite probably other members of the royal household.
So hang on, just to be clear, you're suggesting that there were warnings from senior figures in Buckingham Palace to David Cameron and his team not to employ Andy Coulson?
That's what I understand, yeah.
Now, what evidence do you have of that? And can you tell us who? When you say senior figures, are you actually talking about members of the royal family conveying a message to David Cameron?
Well, I think it would be perfectly natural for very senior members of the royal family to be very troubled about the appointment. After all, Andy Coulson was the editor of the News of the World when the Royal Prince's phones were hacked. That's not in dispute, and Andy Coulson indeed resigned from the News of the World expressly because of the hacking of the Royal Prince's phones.
So you're saying it's natural for them to have concerns, but as from your understanding then, were there actual warnings from members of the royal family to David Cameron's team not to go ahead with the appointment of Andy Coulson?
My understanding is that that members of the royal family were very troubled about it, and which is only natural. I mean, I think any of us would expect that, really, and that there was certainly attempts to make sure that the Prime Minister understood that.